Welcome everyone to another video, and in this video we are going to be doing some more Ferocious Cup practice. In this practice I'm going to be utilizing Donphan, and you know, my team's pretty similar besides that, so let's go ahead and see how we do. Quick, I think I did like 6 battles, pretty quick, so nothing too crazy. Going to be testing out. So obviously Donphan has counter and heavy slam and earthquake. Counter does a lot of damage, really good in some situations, but it is weak to water. So obviously this is an example where it's going to be weak. The Snarl is not going to do a ton of damage, but I'm going to switch out into Skunk Tank just because I feel okay with this matchup. This is going to be Bubble Beam, so I'm not going to shield that. It comes into Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen is generally a counter to Skunk Tank, but I have quite a bit of energy built up, and it's a little bit bulky. It's certainly bulkier than Nidoking, but it's far from like a really tanky Pokemon. So I hit the second crunch. After that Bubble Beam, it doesn't do a lot of damage, so I'm just gonna let this go through. And I'm not in a particularly great situation, so what I decide is that I'm gonna resist the poison jabs. These counters are being resisted. I probably should have attempted the, I should at least attempted the heavy slam potentially to burn the shield, or take it down. So, but regardless, I'm gonna switch out into Alolan Ninetales. I'm not gonna shield. If this is a Hydro Pump, then it's a very good Hydro Pump. Comes into Umbreon. So now I know I'm good. I'm just gonna be able to just charm down. And I decide to not shield, and I'm not really sure why I decided to do that. Well, I guess I assume that he's going to save back-to-back, so kind of made sense for me to do that. And I think if I recall, no. I definitely should have went Heavy Slam. Yeah, I should have went Heavy Slam. Then I potentially could have got off. I don't know. If I went Heavy Slam, I potentially could have got off 2. I don't know. This is not a great situation for me. Definitely a huge misplay. First time me using Donphan, but no, I wouldn't have been able to. So it wouldn't have made a difference anyways. Well, I guess I would have been able to get off. Yeah, I definitely would have get off a second, a third, 3 charge moves off if I went a Heavy Slam instead of going Earthquake. So dumb move on my part, so hopefully I can adjust. So the reason I go to the same team is because like I know I misplayed it, and like I'm gonna run it back. Hopefully he runs it back as well, because I know I can adjust and make the outcome a little bit better on my side. So, or I could have shielded the Hydro Pump. I don't know. There's lots of things I could have done. Shielding the Hydro Pump, I don't know. It's not really that advantageous for me, but you know. All right, I'm gonna lead Donphan again into Nidoqueen. So this is a loss for me, which I didn't know before this matchup. I figured it was. So I think I don't shield, and there goes the Earth Power. Earth Power is gonna do a decent chunk. It's gonna hit for neutral damage, and then I do get to the Heavy Slam first before the Earth Power, or maybe it's a CMP tie. I don't know. That was a interesting sequence of events. I'm going to farm down with Suicune, which is actually really interesting. I'm going to come in with Skunk Tank, and I think I shield this thinking it's a Hydro Pump. Ends up being the Hydro Pump, so it's like a really big guessing game with Suicune and whether it's Bubble Beam or Hydro Pump. So I hit the crunch, which is exactly what I wanted to do, because this would KO. Oh no, it doesn't actually KO. So I'm not going to shield, which is actually really unfortunate for me. And it ends up being a Hydro Pump, which actually does a lot of damage. I'm going to switch into Alolan Ninetales, and then I catch the Alolan Ninetales in the mirror, but I have like a 2 HP left, Skunk Tank in the back, so I'm in a very good position. And then we simultaneous KO, and then I take the win. All right, GG, Shiny Hunter Ben. And who is going to be our next opponent? Mathematician. Oh, nope. Maybe not. Okay, yes. Maybe so. That's actually a pretty good recommended team. Sometimes I'm very fascinated by what my recommended teams are. So I'm going to lead Donphan, Skunk Tank, Alolan Ninetales, and then Skunk Tank basically asking is my safe switch. Okay, this is terrible for me. Actually, no, it's not that bad for me. I'm going to be able to shield. And then I'm going to switch out into Skunk Tank to generate a little bit of energy. And here comes Umbreon. So I'm in a pretty good situation. And I hit the Sludge Bomb. I debate between Sludge Bomb and Flamethrower. But Sludge Bomb's better for the Umbreon matchup, which I think is going to be pretty important, even though I think you can totally run without an Umbreon. Umbreon's a generalist, so I do think that this is a foul play, and I think it ends up being a last resort, which almost KOs, and I don't know why I went for the Crunch as opposed to the Sludge Bomb. The Sludge Bomb definitely would have been better, so I switch out into Donphan just to try to KO, and then I'm going to go for Heavy Slam to take out this Barbarrel, which I do, and then here comes Alolan Raichu, and I try to go for the Earthquake to KO in case no shield comes up, and then we CMP tie, or he had the charge move shortly after, and he goes Brick Break, takes it out, and then I'm in like a very good position. I basically need to shield this. If it's a wild charge, Brick Break. Even if it's a wild charge, it won't KO. So I'm in a very good position. So I take the first match in this set of 2. All right, GG. And now we're going to move on to the second match. Man, again, pretty decent recommended. Double steal, though. It was kind of all weak to fighting. Well, not all weak to fighting. Like, fighting's neutral or super effective, so obviously counter would be pretty bad against that team. But anyways, I'm going to lead Alolan Ninetales into this Alolan Raticate, and he switches in Umbreon. I'm not sure he's trying to double fake me. Yeah, anyways, so it was a very odd switch in. Not sure if it was a mistake. So I'm not going to shield any of these. Goes for the foul play, and I'm going to be able to charm down, and it comes Alolan Raichu, so I'm going to go for the Psyshock. The Ice Beam would have did more damage. I could have shielded, to be honest. But I feel okay in this situation. I'm not going to shield, and then I can just counter down this Alolan Raticate. It might be able to get off charge move off, but being double weak to counters is pretty deadly. You see I'm like massively chunking away at this Alolan Raticate, and I expect the charge move to come through. And I expect it to be Crunch. Oh, he goes Hyper Fang. Interesting. Maybe trying to go for the KO blow. But there's nothing in the back that Alolan Raticate can necessarily take out pretty easily. So next up, I'm going against Holden McGroin. Certainly one of the best battlers in Toronto. Certainly up for contention, up at least in the debate. So this matchup is, again, I didn't realize this matchup was so bad for me until afterwards. And I go for the Heavy Slam to draw the shield. And I do get the shield. And I don't know why I went for the Heavy Slam again. Maybe before I get KO'd. or put some pressure on to this barrel, leave it with like 1 HP left. And this is going to be a surf that's coming through. I didn't shield the surf mostly because I know there's a Nidoqueen in the back, and this is not a good situation for me by any means. Having like all three of your Pokemon lose to Nidoqueen is a very poor team composition on my side. And I was hoping that one of these crunches would go through. And because I don't have Flamethrower, I don't know, crunch would be more energy efficient, but I really need to. Oh, he does this beautiful switch, and then I make a very that switch was really nice. What I should have did here was potentially just build up to the crunch, and then switch out. And I wanted just to do a little bit less than, which is a dumb strategy on my side. I was hoping to come in and charm and KO, and then now I'm in a very poor situation. I was hoping to get the crunch off on the Nidoqueen beforehand. Not that it would have KO'd. To be honest, I don't even think necessarily the switch was nice. I would have. How much does crunch do? Like about 45%. Skunk Tank, Nidoqueen. Crunch does 61, so about 45%. So still would have been able to KO me afterwards, but might as well utilize that. A little Ninetales. So I am gonna go same team composition, which I'm not sure is necessarily the best idea. So he goes a little Ninetales, and obviously these charms are hugely chunking away at me. I am going to try to draw the shield. And then I'm going to switch out into Skunk Tank. And then here comes Alolan Sandslash. If I had Flamethrower here, it would have been so nice. And I think I don't shield. Thinking it's just an Ice Punch, which it is. And this is a really gutsy no shield on his side. I'm not sure he's scrimmed this before, because like at least his Alolan Sandslash was like 2 HP left. And not necessarily a great situation for me. Here comes a little Ninetales, and then I'm hoping to KO before. And that's not going to be the case. He goes for the Ice Beam. And here comes Raichu. I'm in a very good position because I just need to shield. And then I can charm down. Goes for the Wild Charge. Could have went for multiple Brick Breaks. Not that I think that would have made a difference. Just because the Wild Charge is 50 energy, Brick Breaks 35, could have went for another one. So I got a pretty good look at Donphan. A pretty interesting Pokemon. Obviously that counter damage is really nice. Still a little fragile. Losing to Nidoqueen is pretty big, and then having an iffy matchup against Umbreon is also not great. So I think it has some play, especially if Lairon, Aggron become really popular. Then it's certainly like a pretty decent choice. But we'll see. Let me know what you think in the comment section below about Donphan, and I will see everyone in the next video.